edition of Elections Unlocked, your one-stop show for all that's happening in Battleground 2024. Today we begin with the Northeast, where remember polling will end on the 26th. But we're asking the big question, from Assam to Manipur, will the BJP still carry the day across the Northeast? Now, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Sarma is the man to watch. He's the one who's been put in charge to ensure what the BJP hopes will be a saffron sweep of Assam. Our Northeast editor Kaushik Deka was with Sarma on the campaign in Nagaon district of Assam, where there is a sizable Muslim population. This election campaign, the Assam Chief Minister is wooing his voters, especially the Assamese Muslims, as their mama or maternal uncle. The fact that the same Chief Minister had once said that Assam doesn't need any Mia or immigrant Bangladeshi Muslim is now all forgotten, he claims, and seemingly forgiven. Take a look at this report.
53-year-old Assam Chief Minister Himanta Sarma hops out of the chopper and runs to the barricade. Jumps over it, mingles in the crowd, waiting for him at Nagaon district's Rupahi. Shaking hands, hugging people he connects and bonds. "95% of the village population are Muslims. They all sing and dance with him as he takes the stage to BJP's campaign song in Ahomia. Aku Ebar Modi Sarkar. Once again, Modi government. Widening communal rift between Hindus and Muslims in Assam seem distant past. Himanta Sarma, known for the diabolic statements against alleged Muslim immigrations in Assam, makes the crowd chant Bharat Mata Ki Jai. He interacts with the crowd like their own family members from the stage that political leaders use to address them. He makes promises and the crowd goes crazy. They break the barricade and reach the stage to touch him, to express their gratitude. The same story repeats in rally after rally. Villagers stand by to talk to him personally as he approaches, and he listens and interacts with them warmly. Pain of NRC and CAA forgotten, Assam dances to the tune of its chief minister. People lovingly refer to him as Mama, maternal uncle, and he treats them not as a vote bank, but his family.
Modi ki guarantee, Mama ki warranty.
At election campaign trail, Himanta Sarma does not make the Muslims chant Jai Shri Ram. He had once said that Assam needs no Mia, but he needs them to win the state for the Lotus. With Kaushik Deka in Nagaon, Assam, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's turn from Assam to Manipur. The troubled state witnessed some violence during the first phase of polling on the 19th April. Now the second phase goes on the 26th. The Election Commission has already announced that voting is void in 11 polling stations. A repoll has just happened in all these 11 polling stations, this time peacefully. But the shadow of the violence over the last year between Meiteis and Kukis continues to shadow the election. And the big question, of course, is what happens next in Manipur. Will the violence stop? Take a look at this report.
Sangeeta, in her early 40s, and her 12-year-old daughter are learning to live in a tiny room shared with 21 others. She used to run a lodge in More, close to the Manipur-Myanmar border. But that's history now. The year-long communal strife of Manipur has turned her into a displaced person living in a relief camp at Akampat, closer to Imphal, but far away from what used to be their home.
वो तो क्लास 3 से इम्फाल में ही पढ़ते, हाँ बोर्डिंग स्कूल में रहते। और अभी तो वो क्या बोलते हैं हम लोग इस क्राइसिस से हम लोग डिस्प्लेस हो गए इसलिए आई could not afford for her schooling.
While Sangeeta tries to adjust and accept the realities of riots, 38-year-old Nabakumar is struggling. He used to be a long route driver before the communal violence burnt his home down and robbed him of his livelihood.
तकरीबन रात का 11-10 बजे तक वो लोग सब जला दिया और कुछ भी नहीं बचा हुआ है वो उधर में सिर्फ मिट्टी है खाली हाथ के लिए थोड़ा सा पैसा चाहिए अब बच्चों के खिलाने के लिए चाहिए वो सब थोड़ा सा कर रहा है ऐसा जिंदगी ऐसा है हम लोग ये जानवर थोड़ी ना हम लोग तो जीने के लिए घर बार होना चाहिए जीने के लिए लायक होना चाहिए लेकिन वो सुविधा नहीं मिल रहा है यहाँ पे
4 kilometers from Imphal, in Porumpat relief camp, 62-year-old L. Ghansham's family of 6 is another living tale of displaced people who had nothing to do with the communal violence, but are paying the heavy price of hatred and arson. Ghansham is dejected by government promises.
गवर्नमेंट ने तब कुछ हम लोग कुछ मदद तो था क्या खाना पीना के बाद में बाकी तो इतना मिलता नहीं है हम क्या बोलेगा साहब जी हम लोग दिमाग तो पूरा गड़बड़ हो गया क्योंकि हम लोग का अच्छा तकलीफ हुए ये हो गया बोलकर हमें कितना कागज में मतलब जो पैसा वैसा आकर हम लोग पूछा था तुम लोग का प्रॉब्लम क्या है ये पूछा है हम लोग ये हो गए इतना ऐसे कितना लिखकर बोलकर कितना बात किया वो अभी तक तो कुछ मिला नहीं है सरकार का तो साहब जी सरकार का जो बनाते रहकर बोलते तुम अच्छा से रहो हम लोग करते रहकर देखते रहेगा ऐसे बोलते रहता है कुछ इतना फैसिलिटी मिलता नहीं
Sangeeta too has lost hope of a political solution.
The government doesn't hear our voice. They divert our mindset by giving that small skill training programs. When the votes come, they take as value. And when the votes are finished, they do whatever they like.
People who reside in the relief camps who have faced such violence get shockwaves whenever they come across such information that they read on the net or watch on the TV. All that these people desire, all that these people want is nothing but peace. Peace for them, peace for the state, and peace for everyone around them in this state of Manipur. This is Suryagni Roy for India Today, Manipur.
How should one then view the various cross currents across the northeast in this election season? Indrajit Kundu from Kolkata joins us. He looks at the entire region across east and northeast. Patricia Mukim of the Shillong Times is joining me from Shillong. Appreciate both of you joining us. I want to come to you, Patricia, first. What's the sense you're getting in this election, particularly since you've tracked Manipur very closely? There's a sense that this violence is continuing, elections are not ebbing the violence. Is that a concern? Elections can come and go. The people of Manipur continue to remain terribly divided.
Absolutely, because nothing has been done to repatriate people from the refugee camps. They're still living there after now it's going to touch a year. And the government doesn't seem concerned at all, the state government, and nor is the central government. The Prime Minister, as you know, has not said a word. He was forced to speak out the word Manipur in Parliament. But beyond that point, he hasn't even deigned to come to visit the state. And as you saw, the elections were marred by violence. I think it's only in Manipur in the first phase that there was violence. So
is
I don't know what sort of election this is
is there a sense, therefore, that the people of Manipur, particularly Kukis who've also called for a boycott, feel that elections are not the real solution to what is seen as a scarred communal divide?
The people know very well that elections are all about politics and that they have no stake anymore in elections because they are a minority. The Kukis are only about 16% of the population, and nobody really cares about minorities anymore. The Meiteis are 52%. If they vote overwhelmingly for their candidate, one seat for sure will go to the BJP, and then the other seat will either be taken by the NPF, which is an ally of the BJP. I'm not very sure about how strong the Congress is in Manipur today, or how strong their candidate is. In the valley, they had put up, the Congress had put up Professor Bimal Akoijam, but even he was very shocked by the kind of violence that he witnessed, where his polling agents were told to leave the place. And there's so much of threat, intimidation, violence. Imagine people firing away at polling stations, polling booths, and EVMs being destroyed. What sort of election is this?
What sort of an election is this, Indrajit? But as Patricia said, we can raise questions over whether this election is truly free and fair in that sense in Manipur. But the BJP perhaps believes they can win at least one, if not both, seats in Manipur, and they certainly believe they will win a vast majority of the seats in Assam and indeed across the northeast with their allies. So have the cross currents of the last 1 year, whether it's on CA earlier and NRC and indeed on Manipur, have they affected the BJP in any way across the northeast, or only emboldened and strengthened the BJP further?
Well, I don't think it's going to have much of an impact electorally, because as you just said, in Assam, the BJP is expected to win a majority of the seats. In Manipur, of course, it does have a resonance. But will it have an electoral effect? I don't really think so. As Patricia just said, in a Manipur, which is most of the valley, one can expect that the BJP will sweep that valley. And despite, that sense being there, that the BJP is almost going to win the seat in Valley, we saw there were incidents of violence where openly there were a firing that took place, which is unthinkable. Just imagine if that happened in anywhere else, in any other part of India, what kind of ruckus it would have been. But since it's in Manipur, it seems like everything is taken on the stride. Violence almost has become a normal part of the daily life, and that's the most unfortunate part.
And it's not
There's also a sense.
And it's not just Manipur, Indrajit. Even in Nagaland, there were 6 areas where there was zero polling. So, I mean, it appears that there are parts of the northeast which feel even more alienated when it comes to actually casting their vote in this election, and that surely should trouble us, irrespective of who wins the election.
That's right. That's right. And even in Churachandpur, which voted in the first phase... It does not
trouble the power holders at the center. They don't care about these small states any longer.
You're saying they don't care, but yes, Indrajit, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I'm saying that they matter. These small states may matter to the media. Even to the media, they don't matter much most of the times. But they don't matter at all to the power holders in Delhi. They just don't care, because they look at the bigger states and which are the seats coming to them from the bigger states. In any case...
Can I just get Indrajit also on that? Can I get Indrajit also to respond? Do you get a sense, Indrajit, as you travel through these days, that there's a greater sense of alienation, even while the Prime Minister, to his credit, has perhaps visited the Northeast more than any other Prime Minister? At least that's what he sees as one of his USPs. And yet at election time, we are not seeing that energy at all among the people of the Northeast this time.
But there's clearly a sense of, dejection, especially amongst the cookie community. Because, look, for the past 1 year, we've seen a sense of victimhood in Manipur amongst the minority cookies. And this election is taking place. There is no cookie representation, mind you, because the outer Manipur seat, which goes to elections on April 26, the NPF, which is an ally of the BJP, they have fielded a candidate, and the Congress has also fielded a candidate who is also a Naga. There is no cookie representation there. And the cookies, in a sense, I've been speaking to a lot of them, they are divided. There is one section which believes that they should partake in these elections and register their protest by, voting nota. There is another section which says, what's the use of taking part in the democratic process because our voice is not being heard? In any case, various civil society organizations are in talks with the government of India over the past several months in order to bring in some semblance of normalcy. They are demanding a political solution to their demands, which is going to be a long standing battle. But for now, there is very little interest in this election as far as the Kuki community is concerned, because they feel that they are not being heard. And as far as law and order situation is concerned, no matter what the government claims, the law and order situation is far from normal. And even today when we speak, there have been firing incidences that took place in Manipur, and the police is still probing that.
Well, that is very troubling to hear, and all the focus on what happens in the rest of the country is parts of the northeast falling off the map in this election season, and that really should trouble us. I sometimes call it the tyranny of distance, but more importantly, it's the need for a healing touch above all else. Patricia, Mukim and Indrajit, appreciate you joining me here on the Elections Unlocked. Okay, let's tell you what else is happening on the election battleground. Prime Minister Narendra Modi doubling down on his attack on the Congress's manifesto, saying that the grand old party will snatch assets and Dalit quotas to redistribute to Muslims. Reference to the Congress manifesto once again from the Prime Minister. Meanwhile, the Hanuman Chalisa showdown has reignited. This on Hanuman Jayanti, the Prime Minister invoking the attack on a Bengaluru shopkeeper, claiming the Congress was insulting Lord Ram and Hanuman. The Congress has hit back, claiming the BJP is continuing to ignore the real issues of the people. A showdown in Tamil Nadu over a murder during the polls. The Tamil Nadu leader of the BJP, Annamalai, claiming DMK goons assaulted a woman, murdered her over a vote for the BJP. A constitution face-off has erupted in Goa when a Congress Neta claimed the constitution was forced on the Goans. The Prime Minister hit back, saying Congress had insulted the constitution, called it a well-planned move by the Congress to break the country. Let's turn to the Northeast Delhi constituency. It goes to the polls only next month, but it's already seeing a potentially big political fight between the BJP sitting MP Manoj Tiwari and the Congress's Kanhaiya Kumar. India Today's Maushmi Singh and Rahul Gautam spoke exclusively to Kanhaiya, who is hoping that this could be his big move up. Here's an excerpt.
ये वो वक्त है जो कहा जाता है ना कि अगर जुस्तजू हो तो सफर खत्म कहाँ होता है, यूं तो हर मोड़ पर मंजिल का गुमा होता है। एक मंजिल थी आपकी जब आपने शुरू किया था अपना सफर जेएनयू से, और अब आप एक नेता बने, फिर पार्टी में आपने जिम्मेदारी संभाली। पहले भी आप लोकसभा की चुनावी रण में अपनी किस्मत बिहार से आजमा चुके हैं, लेकिन इस बारी पिच अलग है। कितनी बड़ी चुनौती आपके सामने, क्योंकि मनोज तिवारी खड़े हैं।
सबसे पहले तो आप दोनों को नमस्कार, आपके सभी दर्शकों को नमस्कार। और आपने कहा कि आपका सफर जेएनयू से शुरू हुआ। नहीं, मेरा सफर जेएनयू से नहीं शुरू हुआ है। मेरा सफर मेरे परिवार से शुरू हुआ है। मेरा सफर मेरी माँ के गोद से शुरू हुआ है। और जीवन की यात्रा में स्वाभाविक बात है, हम दिल्ली आए और जेएनयू जाने से पहले दिल्ली आए। 2009 में हम दिल्ली आ गए थे यूपीएससी की तैयारी के लिए, और 2011 में हमारा एडमिशन हुआ, और 2018 में एमफिल और पीएचडी दोनों मिला करके 18 में जो है वहाँ से हमने डॉक्टरेट की उपाधि ले ली। 2019 में हम चुनाव लड़े, और आपने कहा कि आप अपना किस्मत आजमा चुके हैं। हम अपना किस्मत नहीं आजमा रहे थे, क्योंकि जो है मुझे कर्म पे भरोसा है। गीता में भी लिखा हुआ है कि कर्म करना चाहिए, भाग्य पे जो है ना भरोसा नहीं करना चाहिए। तो हम जनता के बीच गए अपने मुद्दों को लेकर के। जनता को उस वक्त जो है और मुद्दे पसंद आए, और उन्होंने जो है किसी और प्रत्याशी को अपना प्रतिनिधित्व करने का अधिकार दिया। ठीक उसी प्रकार से इस बार भी इंडिया की तरफ से जो है कांग्रेस पार्टी की ओर से मैं नॉर्थ ईस्ट दिल्ली का जो है प्रत्याशी हूं। और सबसे पहले तो मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं दिल्ली की जनता को, अपनी पार्टी को, इंडिया के जो है बाकी घटक दलों को, कि मुझे जो है ये जिम्मेवारी दी गई है। इस बार भी हमारे पास एक एजेंडा है, हम एजेंडा लेकर के लोगों के बीच में जाएंगे। अगर वो मुद्दे उनको पसंद आएंगे, अगर वो उस मुद्दों से सहमत होंगे, अगर उनको हम में विश्वास दिखेगा कि हाँ ये इन मुद्दों को लड़ सकते हैं, तो वो जो है अपना प्रतिनिधित्व पार्लियामेंट में करने का अधिकार देंगे मुझे, मेरी पार्टी को और हमारे गठबंधन को। अगर उनको लगेगा कि नहीं जो है उनके लिए अभी दूसरे मुद्दे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी हैं और जो है उनका प्रतिनिधित्व कोई और करे, कोई और गठबंधन, कोई और पार्टी करे, तो कोई और करेंगे। लोकतंत्र में चीज़ें ना बड़ी सिंपल है, बड़ी सीधी है। अननेसेसरी जो है ना राजनीति में लोग उसको कॉम्प्लिकेट कर देते हैं।
पर थोड़ा मामला कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है क्योंकि यहाँ पे मनोज तिवारी एकमात्र बीजेपी के ऐसे सिटिंग एमपी हैं जिनकी सीट रिपीट हुई है। और अगर हम आंकड़े देखें तो उनका जो वोट प्रतिशत है 2014 में 45% उनको मिला था और इसके बाद जो है लगभग 53% उनका वोट प्रतिशत 2019 में पहुंच गया। सेलिब्रिटी भी है, बड़ा चेहरा भी है और पूर्वांचली है।
आपको वो एक कहानी याद है हिरण्यकश्यप वाली और भक्त प्रहलाद वाली? तो वो जो है ना राजा थे भक्त प्रहलाद के जो है पिताजी, और जो है बड़ा जो है उनका राक्षसों के बीच में जो है बड़ा प्रभाव था। तो वो कहते थे अपने बेटा को कि जो है ये ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय कहना बंद करो। छोटा सा बच्चा था, बोला कि नहीं, मैं अपने विश्वास पर अडिग हूँ। पूरा दरबार, पूरा जो है राज, उनके पिताजी राजा, उनके सारे दोस्त राजा, वो किसी की बात से सहमत नहीं होते थे। और आज जो है हम लोग भक्त प्रहलाद को याद करते हैं, हिरण्यकश्यप को याद नहीं करते हैं। उसी तरह से जो आप ये आंकड़े गिना रहे हैं ना, वो आंकड़े भले उनके पक्ष में है। मेरा फिर एक सिंपल सा सवाल है कि अगर वो चुनाव जीत ही गए हैं तो जो है इस 40 डिग्री टेम्परेचर में जो है उनको नॉर्थ ईस्ट दिल्ली में जो 5 साल में वो एक बार जाते हैं, उनको जाने की क्या जरूरत है अगर वो चुनाव जीत ही गए हैं। देखिए, चुनाव तब तक कोई नहीं जीता है ना जब तक जनता ने वोट दे करके किसी को जिता नहीं दिया है, बटन दबा करके किसी को जिता नहीं दिया है। और ये सब आंकड़े जो हैं ये बदलते रहते हैं। 2009 में, ज्यादा दिन तो नहीं हुए, 2009 में हमारे सांसद थे वहां से और उनको जो है लगभग 60% वोट आया था। और आंकड़े आप देखिए कि जो है विधानसभा और लोकसभा के आंकड़े भी बदल जाते हैं। विधानसभा में अगर आप देखेंगे तो जो है हमारा वोट की संख्या और परसेंटेज जो है वो कम है, लेकिन लोकसभा में जो परसेंटेज भी ज्यादा है, संख्या भी ज्यादा है। तो मुकाबले में है, मुकाबला अभी बाकी है, मुकाबला अभी हुआ नहीं है और फैसला तो अभी बहुत दूर है। फैसला जनता को करना है, इसीलिए ये सब आंकड़े मायने नहीं।
Well, that's all we could pack in on this edition of Elections Unlocked. News and updates continue on India Today. Thanks for watching. Stay well, stay safe. Again, namaskar.